Oh no.
There we go. Can people hear us now? Anyone?
Hello, hello.
Can people hear us now? There we go.
We good? We good?
Get the lip readers. Right, I apologise for that. For those regular to the podcast, you should know by now something usually goes wrong. It updated and it reset all my settings, so I do apologise. So, hello everyone. Welcome to the podcast. I'll just quickly do that again. Welcome to another episode of Crash's Community Podcast, where special guest is Benjjyy.
Hello. Again.
Again. So I apologise to everyone that's here and didn't hear that. Like I say, there's usually something goes wrong, and I'm looking at the next thing now. There he
Oh no.
comes.
The start of the show's here.
What's up, old man? What's up? What? You've got your biscuits down there. You just want to be on camera, don't you? Right here. Right. Right. You say hello to everybody. There you go. Say hello. Hello. My 20-year-old cat.
20 years old.
He's 20.
Jesus,
Right.
what's his name?
Sooty.
Sooty. Oh.
Right, there you go. Eat your biscuits.
I have two cats, but neither of them are close to being 20 years old yet. So.
Yeah, it's frightening. I helped bring him into the world. My
Oh,
wife,
really?
my wife was up at Tesco, and his mum started giving birth, and I'm like running around.
Jesus.
What do I do?
Yeah.
Right.
Crazy.
So, no more interruptions, no more mistakes. We're going to do this. So, for everyone that is new into the podcast, has never been here before, welcome in. It's great to have you here. I'll just give you a quick rundown of what's going on. So, obviously, this is an interview, podcasty type thing. I apologise for my cat. Basically, it's not a Piers Morgan grilling type thing. It's a friendly chat. Questions are there, and the conversation flows. It's a nice, happy atmosphere until maybe we talk a bit about Destiny. But what I will say is to anyone, if anyone comes in with a follow host or anything like that, I'll admit, yes, I'm ignoring you on purpose, but there is a reason for that. What I don't like to do is I don't like to start breaking up the flow of the conversation. So in between the topics, I will then do shout outs and stuff like that. And I'm sure my mods in here will shout you out in chat because top notch mods. And they have my back all the time and they look after me. So I'll get one or two. Let's get two out of the way before we start. So Halo of Embers and Farmark, thank you very much for the follows. Appreciated. And hello, everyone. Right, should we get this going?
Let's do it.
Right,
Yeah,
so
let's go for it.
the first topic category is always finding out stuff about yourself, getting to know yourself a lot better. So, for anyone that doesn't know, whereabouts are you from?
So I'm from UK, Sheffield specifically in the UK. I'm 23 now, so I was born in and lived in Sheffield up until March last year, when I moved to Manchester. I grew up in studied in Sheffield, went to university, got a degree in Sheffield, and then I met my partner at uni towards the end of uni, and then we moved to Manchester together. Last year, March last year, so still there now.
Not too far away from me, Sheffield.
No, not at all.
Only in York. And,
Yeah.
and I was quite disappointed when I saw you tweet out pictures when you were here. Was it
In York?
couple of months ago? Was it now?
Yeah, it was like end of July. Yeah, because of my birthday weekend. So yeah, 30th of July, 29th, 30th of July, around then.
Yeah, because you you were speaking to, or did you go see? We have a friend in common in Liam from
Yes, from Belong.
Belong. Yeah,
Game, yeah. Because so don't know if you know, but I used to be quite big on skipping ahead to Destiny here, but I was quite big on Gambit.
yeah,
And there was a Gambit tournament which Belong like hosted. And because Sheffield doesn't have, and I was in Sheffield at the time, Sheffield doesn't have its own Belong, so I represented York for that tournament. So I got to know Liam through that and was like traveling to York like every week to like take part in that. So that was pretty cool.
yeah.
Really cool.
Like I say, if I'd have known, I'd have said, want to meet for
Yeah,
a
yeah,
drink or something. But
yeah, yeah.
maybe someday in the future.
I'm sure I'll be in York again. York's amazing. Like because I'm a big history guy. Like I did history as my degree. And obviously York's full of history. So
Yeah,
yeah, it
it
was amazing.
is. It's a
Yeah,
massive
yeah,
historic
yeah, yeah,
tourist city.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, what was life like growing up for little Benji? So, going through
Um,
school, friends, what was it like?
I was quite shy growing up. As a through primary school and definitely early on in secondary school, I was quite a shy kid. I don't really know where that came from. I think that's just how I was. Yeah, I would say I'm quite lucky to have had a good upbringing. I had parents who were happily married. No issues there.
Yeah,
Who raised me in my eyes, as good as anyone can really. Taught me all the correct stuff and um, all the correct morals and etc. etc. And yeah, I got a good education. It wasn't really till I'd say maybe like year 10, which is like age 14, 15 in secondary school around then that I could have started
yeah.
to come out of my shell a bit. Yeah.
I've got a son the
Uh,
same age.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that was when I kind of started to um, just grow a bit in confidence because I think I probably didn't realize it, but I had like anxiety, quite bad anxiety. And I started to kind of, I'm still quite like I guess a reserved person. Like it takes a bit for me to like fully come out of my shell and be like comfortable around people. But I used to be like super shy, and then that kind of started to improve. Yeah, like year 10 onwards. But yeah, I can't. I'm probably quite privileged to be honest. Like I had a very stable and happy upbringing, family wise and friends wise. Like it was all pretty, pretty straightforward. Really, like
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah. I can't complain, to be honest. I can't complain.
God. So, away from streaming, content creating, all that type of stuff, if you had a free evening, house to yourself, you put your
Yeah,
feet up on the sofa, you've got full free reign of the TV,
yeah.
Netflix, Amazon Prime, or whatever you may want to watch. What would be your favourite film or
Oh,
TV show?
um, I just would actually literally just before I just started watching Squid Game on Netflix.
My daughter's been
Uh,
watching that.
yeah, which has got quite a lot of hype. So we thought we'd finally tackle that. Which seems good so far, but only a couple episodes in. But normally I'd say I'm a big Marvel fan when it comes to films. Yeah,
Yeah,
thumbs up. Yeah. Um, so yeah, anything like Disney Plus. I've been watching all the What If
yeah,
series, which has been amazing. Obviously, like WandaVision, um, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Loki were all incredible.
yeah.
All the new films. Shang-Chi was amazing. I'm very excited for Eternals. Very excited for Spider-Man.
Oh,
Um,
God,
yeah,
yes.
very exciting time. So yeah, it's really just that or football. To be honest, I'm a big football fan. So anything like I'll happily just stick on. Like just catch up on the games that's been on or Sky Sports. Like a lot of the time, I just hop on YouTube and just like because Sky Sports has so much like content now,
Yeah,
just like interviews and stuff. Like there's just so much to go at,
yeah,
and I really enjoy watching all that stuff.
yeah.
I
I've
think it's
been
great.
watching the new one with Gary Neville.
Yeah, it's podcast.
It's yeah,
Yeah,
I really like
it's
that,
really good.
especially the
Yeah.
one with Roy Keane.
I think the pundits have got now. They all just speak really well. Like obviously a lot of them are ex-players, and I think they say the right kind of things and they have great conversations, and it's really interesting to watch.
Yeah.
So
Dare I ask who you support?
Sheffield United. So born and raised
Ooh.
in Sheffield, always always been Sheffield United fan. I've got a season ticket, so even though I'm in Manchester, I still get to every home game that I can, work permitting. And yeah, unfortunately, we did get up to the Premier League, and then we got relegated last season. But yeah, still a fan, still going, still going.
Well, uh, my team are in the Championship as well. So all my family come from Blackburn.
All right, yeah,
So I was a season ticket holder. Me and my sons were, and my dad, and we used to go
yeah,
most of. But it's just started getting a little bit too expensive now.
yeah. Yeah, the
And
prices are, yeah,
well, it is. When we were in the Premier League, I could get a season ticket for £135,
yeah,
and for the same seats now in the Championship, it's £299,
yeah. It's ridiculous.
and I'm just like,
Yeah, just
I
can't.
just can't do that
Yeah, yeah.
because
Does that
it's
mean were you going when Blackburn won the league?
yes,
Yeah,
yes. I went
yeah,
to my first. Oddly enough, my very first game was the very first home game of
yeah,
when the Premier League started in '92.
yeah, yeah.
So I've been going since then.
Nice.
But yeah,
Yeah,
unfortunately,
so
if you don't support a Chelsea or City or United or that,
yeah,
you it were challenging for big things. You have your ups and downs. Let's just put it
yeah,
that
yeah,
way.
definitely, yeah, definitely, yeah. I think that's the nature of football at the minute with the amount of money that's involved now. It's
Oh, definitely,
yeah.
definitely. Uh, so, what would you say favorite type of music?
Um, I'm quite people who are in my stream who listen to the playlist I play in there. It's quite varied. But it's probably quite indie heavy, generally speaking. I I grew up listening to like sort of noughties and early tens music.
Yeah,
And then but then sort of especially going to uni and going on nights out and stuff, I started to sort of appreciate and like sort of 80s and that 70s, 80s, 90s more. So I like, and I'm not a huge fan of the stuff that's like in the charts now. Like, I think it's all a bit crap, to
yeah,
be honest. And I like my parents. Obviously, they were growing up during the '80s, so that's like all their kind of music. So now I get why they like that music because like it's just seems to be good song after good song. But yeah, like generally it's just the indie stuff and um, yeah, like a bit of rap. Do like some rap, and then I've got a soft spot for like I don't know how to describe it, like epic instrumental music, I guess would be like the way to
yeah,
describe it. Like I really like some of Destiny's like soundtracks, things like that. Um, yeah, I really enjoy stuff like that. So quite a variety, really. Um, yeah,
yeah. Well, I grew up in the '80s and the
yeah,
'90s, so yeah, the '80s. Oh, it, the, my dad used to listen to Spandau Ballet all the time when I was a small kid,
yeah,
and yeah, but I'd loved it was more electronic-y.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like synth type stuff that I
yeah,
liked through the
yeah,
'80s, and then
yeah.
the '90s it was mainly Oasis and
Yeah, I'm a
all
big
that
Oasis fan. Yeah, yeah,
Oasis, Cast, the Charlatans,
yeah,
all that type of
yeah.
stuff. And then when I got to the year 2000, now this is where my name comes from. I got really into dance music
All right, yeah,
and going clubbing and all that type of stuff. So that's where
yeah, yeah.
Gatecrasher comes from.
Ah, right,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So
Ah,
I was there with the glow sticks and all the neon paints and all the
yeah,
daft
going
stuff.
for it.
Going to Creamfields and all other
Ah,
festivals, but look,
I like it.
memories.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like you gotta. I'm sure you made some great times at those kind of
I'm
places. So.
I'm a bit too old for that sort of stuff now.
Hey, you've done it though. You've been there. You've done it. You've
Yeah,
lived it. So you've
yeah.
had it. You've had the experience.
So, if Gordon Ramsay was to walk through your door next to you now, silver platter,
Yeah.
and it went like that, and it was your favourite food, what would it be?
Oh. Uh, any? Can I do like any meal, or are we doing like dessert and
Oh, you can do anything, whatever's your
anything?
favourite.
Um, I think it would be probably be. I'm quite a sweet tooth for like desserts and stuff. Anything like banoffee,
All right,
like
yeah.
yeah, like it's like banoffee pie or um like some kind of cheesecake or just donuts. I've
Type of
got a weird
donuts.
obs yeah, I've got a weird obsession with donuts.
I don't know why I asked this because I see you put pictures on Twitter
Yeah, all the time.
with them sat on your lap.
Yeah. Yeah, so the ones you see on Twitter, they're from Lidl, where I work. That's from our bakery. So we do the Jaffa donut, which has got like, it's the one that's just like a plain chocolate out on the outside, and it's got like this Jaffa filling that's like
Ooh.
just incredible. Like it's so nice.
I've got a Lidl literally 2 minutes from my house. I'm
Yeah,
going tomorrow for one of them.
yeah, and do it. Go it. No, seriously, it's worth it. Like they're really, really good. Um, but yeah, I mean, my favorite donuts are just like what I call seaside donuts, which is like the kind you get when you go to the seaside and they're made like hot, fresh in front of you.
Yeah, yeah, and
You
just
know, really hot,
sprinkling the
dipped in sugar.
sugar. Yeah,
Yeah, for me they're the best. Like just because they're fresh, they're yeah. So if you bought like a platter just full of those donuts, I think that would satisfy me to be honest. Um, yeah,
uh, so away from gaming, streaming, and all that type of
yeah.
stuff, you've alluded to a bit of it with your football. But what other sort of activities or things do you like to do away from a screen?
Um, I've got a bit what's the word? Like inactive with the, to be honest, like, because I still follow football, like I say, but I used to play it as well. I played Sunday League for like 10, 15 years ish.
Yeah,
Um, and like, so I would play regularly and train regularly and that kind of thing. And then I did five-a-side after that and so on and so forth. Um, but yeah, since like lockdown and stuff and leaving uni, I haven't really been playing football and I don't really, um, as dull as it is, don't really do a huge amount um, outside of work at the minute, at least. Not that I want it to stay that way
yeah,
going forward. You know, I would like to get back into playing football, even if it is just like having a kick around every now and again. Um, Potentially, because I've never really been to the gym. I've never been like a big gym person, but it is something that I want to try and get into at some point, which might be the classic New Year's resolution that doesn't actually happen. But we'll see. But
yeah,
yeah, I mean, I'm not like at the minute. It's just like with work, I'm kind of the only free time I get is back home, you know, and just like it normally involves something with the screen. I try and mix up what is on the screen, but
yeah,
unfortunately, it does involve being on the screen. But yeah, hopefully that'll change at some point in the near future.
yeah. Well, like I say, and as we were saying before we started about both of us being busy with work and stuff,
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's just how life seems to pan out sometimes. But it can always get better, always.
Yeah, of course, yeah, always.
So when I went Euro Millions tomorrow night, was it 170
Is
million
that what it
tomorrow?
is?
Yeah,
Oh, that'd be nice. That'd be all right, wouldn't it?
yeah. I won't have to think about work.
I keep saying that I'm gonna win the lottery, but I never actually enter the lottery. So maybe the one time I enter it, that'll be it. I'll win it, sorted.
Well, you know
We'll
the
see.
saying, you've got to be in it to win it.
Exactly.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm going to be daydreaming about all day tomorrow, up until the draw, when I start drowning in my own tears
Yeah.
when I haven't got a single number.
Then you can enter again and repeat the process and get your hopes up again, and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
cycle continues. So,
Right, so that's the first category over with. So before we move on to gaming, because I have seen my alerts going off,
yeah.
let us just. So I've done that one, done that one. Right, I may butcher this name. I apologise in advance. So C1 Arix, thank you for the follow. Hezzy, thank you for the host. It's appreciated. And Jaybird 311, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it all. So thank you. Right, so gaming, general
Yes.
gaming. So
Yes.
what would have been the first video game that you'd have played?
I think I'm gonna say PlayStation 2 and a game called Monster Jam, which was literally just like big monster trucks
Trucks.
basically going at each other, like trying to like destroy each other basically.
Yeah.
And the reason why that comes to mind is because so my dad got himself a PlayStation 2 for Christmas many, many years ago. And then I basically started playing it, and then to a point where it kind of became mine just because I was using it so much and he wasn't using it. And I think Monster Jam was it's the first game I really remember playing because he had like the wheel that went with the PlayStation 2 for it.
Oh yeah.
Um, so I think that's the first one I remember. And then yeah, it just kind of escalated from there really into many, many different things. Not that I stayed a fan of the monster truck genre. I kind of moved on from that. But yeah, that's I think yeah, that's what I remember as my first game, definitely.
So was the PS2 your first console?
Yeah, it was, yeah. So I went PS2, then Xbox 360, then PS4, then main PC for like 2 or 3 years. Um, and then I kind of switched back to console now with the next gen. And now I have both the PS5 and the Series X. So
Yeah, so there's
yeah,
there's my PS5 just there.
yeah, I see it. Yeah, very nice.
But so I've got a devastated 14-year-old upstairs.
Oh no.
So I saved. I knew that was coming years in advance.
Yeah,
They made no secret of it, so I saved up to buy that,
yeah,
and my son saved up. So we've got
yeah.
one each. He's got the blue light of death on it
Oh
yesterday.
really? I
It's
didn't even know that was possible on Call of
yeah,
Duty.
yeah. I'd looked it up. There's thousands of posts on Reddit's and all sorts.
Oh yeah.
It's like the old Xbox Red Ring of
Yeah, the
Death.
old Red Ring of Death.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
so
Shit.
it won't come on or anything. So I phoned.
Jeez.
I was on phone for an hour with Sony yesterday.
Yeah,
Fair play to them. Said right, yeah, here's a returns label. Send it to us. You'll have something. You'll have a replacement, or it'll be fixed and back with you within 15 days.
yeah,
Can't fault that, but it's a bit worrying
yeah,
that.
yeah. That is worrying. I'd not actually heard of that before till now. So
So, and I'm like, I'm really worried about mine now.
yeah, fingers crossed. Yeah, yeah. I had absolute nightmare. I know it's everyone's been struggling, but absolute nightmare with the PS5 trying to get it, like trying to actually get one. Because I was like in and ahhing about PlayStation or Xbox, which one to go for.
Mm,
And my girlfriend said she'd get me whichever one I wanted for Christmas. And then they revealed the Series S because they revealed that quite late.
yeah,
And I was like, oh, that's a bit cheaper. I could just buy that myself, and then she can get me the PS5 for Christmas. So initially, that's what I did, and I had the Series S like the day it came out. But by the time I got it, I kind of was like in and ahhing about it, so I never actually opened it. But then trying to secure a PS5 was just like because we secured one originally through Amazon, and it was supposed to be delivered by Hermes, and it never made it out of their warehouse.
oh
So we
God.
think it might have got stolen by
Mm,
somebody. And then we were like trying to secure one with Amazon after having that, and then she's with EE, and they did like a special deal for EE customers,
Yeah, yeah.
which was easy to do. Again, got it secured, and this time it was DPD. Same thing happened again. Warehouse didn't show up again. We think it got nicked. Um, and then and then Amazon luckily managed to come through and said they could basically guarantee us one. So third time that was the charm, and we got one. But yeah, it was just an absolute nightmare trying to get hold of one. It really was.
Right. Well, I dare
Yeah.
say, man, I dare say something now. So, so Sony did that big conference press thing, didn't they? And then
Yeah.
they announced it there and then.
Yeah.
PlayStation 5 pre-orders will be out tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I went on to game at 1 minute past midnight. Click, click, click. Ordered
Really?
straight away.
Is that-
But then about 2 weeks later, my son says, "Right, I should have the money for when it comes out in November.
Yeah.
Can you?" And then I had a nightmare
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
get one.
Yeah.
It was January by the time we managed to get him one.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
And then my friend says, "Oh, can you get me? I've got the money. If I give you, can you?" So I'm there at work, looking through trying to get,
Yeah.
and eventually got my mate one. But it's a
Yeah.
nightmare, and there's still
Yeah. They're still
get
short, aren't
they're
they?
still short because games
Yeah.
still only trickling them out every
Yeah.
once a
Yeah.
week or whenever they're doing. So
Yeah. Yeah. I had to. So when when we secured the EE one, we thought, oh, this one's guaranteed to come. And then simultaneously, I had another one coming from Amazon. So suddenly we had two. But my brother wanted it for Christmas, and my
mm,
parents were going to get him. So I said, oh, I secured this one, so he can have this one and just send me the money, whatever. Um, and then obviously that one of them didn't show up. So then I was in a situation of basically having to go through that process again to secure him one, which was a nightmare again. And I got lucky and managed to get it through. I think it was Very that I got it through, because I had like an app that just gave me like notifications for stock, so I was just like constantly checking that.
yeah,
And then Xbox was just a pure fluke, and I managed to get that in January, I think it was when I finally got that. But yeah, absolute, just way more stressful than what it ever should have been.
I know, I
Yeah,
know.
it's just
I,
not good.
hopefully lessons will be learned for whenever the
Yes.
next consoles or
Yes.
whatever come out in 6, 7, 8 years time, or however long it's going to be. It'll probably be
Yeah.
in a year's time, knowing how
Yeah.
long.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah. Probably.
So, what would you say your favorite game of all time would be?
Um, it's gonna have to be Destiny.
Yeah,
It is. Um, Prior to Destiny, it was Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare,
yep,
the original Modern Warfare.
yep,
That was like a game that I had it on Xbox 360. Um, and yeah, because I used to be prior to Destiny, I was mainly into COD and Battlefield in terms of like first person shooters. And yeah, that Modern Warfare 1 was like the game that I basically just kept playing over like many, many, many years. Even when these new CODs get coming out, I would
yeah,
still go back to and play COD 4 just because I loved it. Yeah, that was kind of the game that kind of defined my kind of experience, I guess, on the 360. And was definitely by far my most played game prior, like before Destiny came out. Destiny really just like took everything to a new level for me, like gaming wise. But yeah, before that, it was definitely Modern Warfare 1 for sure.
yeah. Well, it's an all-time classic. I sunk
Yeah,
thousands of hours into it on the PS3,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah,
Such a good game.
it is. Like well, people that have been here before know I have two favorite games because I'm greedy and I can never pick. So Destiny, well, Destiny series is obviously,
Yeah, yeah.
but I also my other one is Mass Effect, the Mass Effect trilogy.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
I get so engrossed into
yeah,
side quests, love
yeah,
interests, shooting it,
yeah.
and all that type of stuff. And yeah, an
The
hour's
full,
I'll just do it for an hour,
yeah.
and then I'm still sat there at 5 in the morning. It's one of them. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? But
yeah, Yeah, I get it. Yeah, yeah.
Uh, what other types of games do you like playing? So I always ask this: are you a secret Just Dance player? I or do you like battle royales or sports games, driving games?
Um,
What other types of things do you like to play?
so quick comment on battle royales. Not a fan. I don't know if you've just seen the Ghost Recon stuff with the
Yeah,
new game.
yes, and I agree with what you tweeted today.
Yeah,
For Ghost Recon,
yeah,
because
yeah.
I
For
like
Ghost Recon, yeah,
because I
yeah,
loved Vegas and
yeah. Me
all
too.
the other
Yeah,
ones. But
yeah,
yeah, it should never.
yeah. Yeah. I've never really clicked with battle royales. I've always been a big arena shooter guy. Like Halo, Call of Duty, Battlefield is my roots. So like, I've tried BRs. Like I've tried Fortnite. I've tried PUBG. I've tried various new ones that crop up every now and again, and it's just never been for me. Um, Outside of FPS, it's probably sports games. FIFA. I've always been a big FIFA player.
Yeah,
Especially in secondary school. I just think like with my friends, we're all football fans, and you just grind FIFA. It's just kind of what we did growing up.
yeah,
And then I guess sort of I am quite into my single player games. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to get the PS5. It's specifically for more single player games. Like I have it hooked up to a 4K monitor just for things like Ratchet and Clank. Like I love the new one, and I
yeah,
used to play it when back in the day, and I love that. Crash Bandicoot, another one that I used to play back in the day, and I play again now. Assassin's Creed series, I love the Assassin's Creed series. What else have I got on the
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man? Yeah, fairly recent, but yeah, Spider-Man's amazing. Big fan of that. So yeah, like I think the sort of your RPG type single player games, yeah, like your Assassin's Creed, Fable,
Oh yeah,
yeah, stuff like that really. That's just that for me is just like a break um from Destiny. I think prior to Destiny, I would play definitely a much wider variety of games. Like yeah, I kind of split my time evenly, whereas now it's like so much time goes into Destiny that I just need that like escape within an escape away from Destiny
yeah,
um to just play something that's like completely different to just yeah stop getting burnt out basically from Destiny. So
yeah. Oh, my sons play Warzone,
yeah,
so I play it with them. And don't get me wrong,
yeah,
it has its issues,
yeah,
but I really enjoy it because it's something just a bit different. Do you know what I mean? It's
yeah, yeah,
there's a more tactical side to it. It's a big map. There could be any. Well, there is always campers in a corner,
yeah, of course.
but I enjoy it because I'm spending time with them playing it as well.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
like I don't even know because he is meant to be one of my mods. I bet he's not here. It's a Skull Rider, and he's
yeah,
awesome. He's awesome at it,
yeah.
and he holds his controller with a claw
Oh no, I can't do that. No.
because he does all this slide. He's trying to teach me it's slide cancel or some.
Yeah, so I can't, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I'll hold it properly. You're all right.
No, I always use controllers as so I use the Elite 2 on the Xbox, so I have like the paddles and stuff. And I used to have like loads of different scuffs. So I like rely on the paddles now. I can't really play. I can't play a shooter without the paddles. I'm fine on the PS5 because I'm not playing shooters and stuff, but for a shooter I've got to have the paddles now.
Yeah, well,
I don't know.
oddly say that because I've just asked for an early Christmas present.
Oh yeah.
There's a UK company called is it Defy Gaming, uh, and they've just done it's a Dual Shock,
Yeah.
Dual Sense, sorry,
Yeah.
but with paddles on the back,
Oh, okay.
and I want one.
Yeah, no, yeah, I don't
and
blame you.
and it's about £100 or whatever it may be, but I'm
Yeah.
like uh, when I play games, I've noticed if I'm playing Trials or if I'm
Yeah.
playing Warzone, it's when you've got to take your thumbs off the sticks to
Yeah. Yeah.
reload or slide
Yeah.
or jump or whatever. So that's what I want the paddles
Yeah.
on the back to map the buttons so that because I tend to
Yeah.
find that I die or I don't see something because I've took my thumb off the
Yeah.
stick and
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah that that's the plan. I've asked Father
Yeah.
Christmas.
Let's hope Father Christmas comes through.
Yes.
I mean, I'll always highly recommend like any controller really that's a good quality that has the paddles because it does make such a massive difference. Once you get used to it, like it's hard to go back
Yeah.
because it really does like change, especially for shooters, just like the way you play and what you can do. And yeah,
Yeah.
would always recommend it
Yeah.
definitely.
Because that's what always made me jealous of Xbox because they made the Elite controller themselves.
Mm.
So it's
Yeah,
a
I'm surprised. I'm always surprised that PlayStation hasn't done their own equivalent, to be
no,
honest.
they
Like,
sort of subcontract it out, don't they? And
yeah, it's never quite the same, is it really?
no, there was one, and was it the Nancon Pro
The the
Revolution?
the Repro Revolution, I used to have that controller, yeah.
But it's set out like the Xbox controller.
Yeah, yeah.
So I can't play with one stick higher than the other. It's just me. I've always been
Yeah,
PlayStation, always.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
if I played with it for long enough, I'd probably be able to reprogram my brain.
yeah.
But yeah, it's disappointing. A big company like Sony
Yeah, I'm surprised they've
can't do
not
their
like
own.
tapped into that,
Be-
especially because like the Elite 2 is so good, like it's done so well.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, but yeah, it is what it is, I guess.
yeah. So last question for this category. Uh, so obviously there's been lots of like game events and shows that they've obviously been streamed and stuff this year. But what games are you looking forward to in the future, whether it's this year or next year? I know there's things like God of War and stuff like that that they've shown, or Wolverine.
Wolverine and the Spider-Man 2.
Yeah,
Yeah, very, very excited. Especially Spider-Man. Like I think 'cause I've got like yeah, Spider-Man on the PS5 and the Miles Morales one as well are both just like yeah, incredible, incredible games. So yeah, very excited for that. God of War, yes. I used to play that as well on an older platform. I can't remember which one. But yeah, a great game. Trying to think what else is on the horizon that's caught my eye. Oh, Halo, of course.
yes,
Um, I've been playing the multiplayer preview, and that's been yeah really 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 good like multiplayer experience. So yeah, very excited for hopefully Halo to be maybe back in its or getting back to its prime, kind of back on the map again.
yeah.
Um, Trying to think what else is what kind of single player games are coming out that I'm for the can't even think what's coming out now. Um, well, I was going to say Far Cry 6, but I'm not sure how I feel about Far Cry 6. I do enjoy the Far Cry series, but I don't know. I feel like it's kind of fallen off a little bit, but I think I will give that a try.
Do you think
Uh,
it's the gameplay or the setting that's sort
mm,
of putting you
I don't know, it just feels all a bit samey.
right?
Like I feel like Far Cry 3 was really good, and then I really enjoyed Far Cry 4, and then it's just kind of yeah, since then it hasn't really like evolved significantly to a point where it's like it's a bit like Assassin's Creed. I feel like Assassin's Creed now has got to a point where they're kind of just doing the same kind of thing but in a different
Yeah,
setting.
yeah,
And I kind of I definitely miss like I enjoyed the games, but I miss like the older like AC2, Brotherhood, those kind of things.
yeah,
So I think a lot of games just feel like they're kind of yeah, they're not just kind of copy and pasting a little bit.
yeah,
Um, And then, of course, there's Destiny
yeah.
and
Of
the
course.
Witch Queen, which looks incredible. And the 30th anniversary. I'm actually probably more excited for the 30th anniversary than I am for Witch Queen.
Yeah, I still need to order that. It's
I
just
I only
it's
I only
just
just
get
did it, so
it's yeah, it's getting the funds available and
yes,
to one
it's
side for it because if you buy it all as a bundle, it's slightly bit cheaper than
yeah, yeah,
maybe a fiver cheaper, but a fiver's a
yeah,
fiver.
yeah, yeah.
But
I did it through the bundle, so yeah.
but what's come out today is it the Battlefield 2042
Oh yeah, the
beta?
2042 beta. Yeah, I forgot
So
about that. Yeah,
I might have
Yeah.
to check that out tomorrow because
I've been
I love Battlefield. Like the two that stand out for me is Battlefield 3 and the first Battlefield Bad Company.
yeah,
They're my favorite in the series.
yeah,
I've always enjoyed it. I love the destructible
yeah,
environments. I love
yeah,
how the guns feel,
yeah.
and there's tanks and aeroplanes, and
It's,
I like Battlefield.
what,
So
what more could you want?
I'm hoping this is going to be good. I'm going to try it.
Yeah, the things I've seen some clips, and it's I've seen one clip where there's like a tornado, like an active tornado in the map.
Yeah,
There's
it's like a
like
weather thing.
moves.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And then there's like I think there's like a rocket or something station that it can hit. And I saw a clip where it like gets destroyed and it's just like absolute like carnage, like just just absolute chaos, like
yeah.
peak Battlefield. So yeah, hopefully that is a very good game because I'm the same. I think Battlefield 2 Modern Combat, which is a bit of a
Oh, on the PS2 and Xbox
yeah,
360.
yeah.
Yeah, I used to play.
That's my favorite one. I used to play the campaign for that like over and over again.
Yeah,
Um,
me clanmates used to do. What was it? What was it called back then? Is it Game Battles? It was a website
yeah,
called
game
Game
battles. Yeah,
Battles.
yeah, yeah, like
We
yeah,
used to do stuff on that against other clans,
yeah,
but it started getting a bit toxic,
as always.
as always.
Yeah,
Yeah, bah, you got me
yeah.
thinking now, saying stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I don't think you can. Thing is, well, I always look. I don't know if there's a way to play it anymore. Like, because a lot of the old Battlefield games you can play like on the Xbox, like on Games Pass,
Mm,
but like that's not available. And whenever I Google it online, it's just like a mystery of just like I think unless you own a physical copy of like from way back in the day, like I don't
yeah,
think there is a way to play it anymore, which is a shame because like for me it's like if I could play that game right now, I'd instantly hop in like just for nostalgia, like
yeah,
big time. But yeah, it's just yeah, you can't for whatever reason, so it's a
yeah.
shame.
That's the same with me. The Killzone
Oh yeah,
games.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
that was the first game I played online, and
yeah,
I got into a clan, and we were doing game battles. Oddly enough, on it.
yeah, yeah.
But no, Killzone on the PS2, and I had to buy
Mm.
a. It was like this great big massive brick adapter to plug into the back of the PS2 to plug your internet into.
Yeah,
Into
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Oh God, I must have sunk a lot of time into that
yeah, yeah. Back in the day,
back in the day when
back in
game
the day.
when games were a lot simpler.
Yeah.
They came complete. There was no DLCs.
Yep. Simpler times, much simpler times.
Simpler times, yeah.
Simpler times.
Right, so that's the end of the gaming category. Just before we move on to Destiny, uh, Jack Boy, thank you very much for the host. Appreciated. So let's get to Destiny.
Hey, here we go.
Here we go. So, first of all, what got you interested into Destiny?
Um, I, f- I, I, so I pre-ordered it and I did get it day one, but I didn't do like the beta or the alpha or anything like that. And I didn't follow it particularly closely coming up to its release.
Mm,
But obviously having played Halo, so knowing who Bungie was,
yeah,
I knew about the game and like obviously the hype for it was like insane. So like I knew like that it was like hyped up to be this incredible game, so it piqued my interest. So definitely, which is why I got it like day one. But yeah, I didn't really like yeah like follow it. Like I didn't look at it on YouTube or like anything like that prior to its release. It was literally just yeah, knowing who Bungie were because of Halo, and then just the absolute hype at the time.
yeah,
Um, and then it's a bit of a weird one for me actually, because like, so when I first got it, it's weird, but like I was in year 13, so like sixth form, second year of sixth form. Um, and like all my friends got it, and everyone was playing it. But at the time, I was living with my parents, and my parents were always not super strict, but like didn't like me playing too much, like gaming wise, so would always like
yeah.
limit my time a bit. And obviously Destiny back then was like this super grindy game that you had to put like, a lot of hours into.
Yes.
And my friends were able to do that and I wasn't, so I kind of felt like I was falling behind a bit. Um, and so there was like a maybe like a 3-4 week period where I just didn't really get into it, and then the game didn't quite live up for a lot of people to like the hype, and so a
Yeah,
lot of people, at least in my friends group, after like a month or 2 months, just stopped playing it. And then I remember quite well that it was around the time that Far Cry 4 and GTA 5 for what would have been PS4
yeah,
came out. Um, and obviously they were both massive games. I got both of them. I played GTA 5 a little bit, but didn't really get into it. But Far Cry I got really into. And so I spent like maybe like what would it be like October, November onwards just playing Far Cry. Um, my friends all switched to GTA and just like went all in on that, and so Destiny kind of got left behind a bit.
yeah,
Um, and then I remember quite fondly, it was literally like maybe the first or second week of Jan 2015, and I was done with Far Cry and I just had nothing to play, and I just thought, sod it, I'm just gonna give Destiny another go, like almost like a little trial run. Um, and because my friends weren't playing it, I didn't feel like pressured in terms of grind, like I could just go at my own pace kind of thing. And then I literally like fell in love with the game like in that week and just like that was it.
yeah,
Like I was I was completely hooked and just I literally spent like from like then till like House of Wolves DLC coming out, just basically just sat in PvP,
yeah.
playing like skirmish and just like yeah, that was it. I was gone. I was done.
Yeah, well, that was same as me. So, like I said earlier, I was always PlayStation, but I had
Yeah,
friends who were Xbox, so they
yeah,
always went on about Halo, Halo, Halo.
mm,
So obviously, this massive hyped game coming from Bungie, who made Halo, was coming to all platforms. So I tried the
yeah,
beta. Thought, oh, it's quite good. This. So I got it on day
yeah,
one,
yeah,
and I played it, and then because let's be honest, right at the beginning of the D1, the game was a bit.
yeah,
Uh, it was
yeah.
a
It
bit,
wasn't
yeah.
the best. Yeah, yeah,
So I sort of not lost in. Well, yeah, I kind of lost interest in it, and I can't remember what else I'd bought. I might have bought the FIFA that year, FIFA 14 or whatever it was. So I started playing that for a bit, and then I got fed up with that because the game cheats
yeah,
and other people
yeah,
cheat on FIFA and all that
yeah,
type of stuff. So I put it back in and started playing it, and like I say, I got hooked, and
yeah, yeah.
the rest is history.
It's history. It's
So with Destiny, now I ask everybody who comes on this because everyone tends to have a different uh, wow moment
mm,
with the Destiny franchise or
yeah,
series. So for a wow moment, and I always say this, my wow moment is Oryx,
mm,
end
yeah,
of King's Fort, and where he comes up, this
yeah,
massive
yeah,
boss, and you're just looking. That was my very first raid that I'd ever done.
yeah,
I didn't do VOG because I didn't have anyone
mm,
to play with at the time. But and I'm looking and I'm just like, wow.
yeah.
But
Mm.
what would you say in any D1, D2? What would you say your wow moment would have been?
Um, I think with like the way I am as a person and like my experiences in gaming, because I'm not a massive PvE guy, so like I do raid from time to time, but not not a lot, like at all. And in D1, I did barely any raids. Like I did each of them like once or twice at most. And there's never really. So I don't really say I've had any like wow moments like in the raids. I suppose it's more. I think going flawless for the first time in
Yeah,
D1. Definitely on like finding the lighthouse, which was obviously this new social space. Um, was definitely a wow moment. And then I don't know, it's weird for me. It's like um, the things that I sort of remember is more like certain loot dropping, like god rolls and stuff, rather than like raid stuff or like story stuff. So like I
yeah,
remember getting Hawk Moon in D1 in the as a Nightfall reward when it was like super rare, like exotics were like a
Yeah.
pain in the ass to get, and Hawk Moon was
Yes.
like, yeah, Hawk Moon was
Yeah.
incredible, and I remember getting that and being like, holy shit, like, I remember getting, IS Luna, I remember getting my God roll and just being like, I was grinding for it, and then I literally got like my perfect roll, and I was like, holy shit. Um, and yeah, same thing in D2, really, just like, um, yeah, because I think with D2, it's like, obviously year one was a bit um hit and miss for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Um, I just played PvP personally, so I didn't really have any necessarily wow moments. And then from like Forsaken onwards, I was all in on Gambit. I suppose I've had experiences. I've had experiences because of the game that have absolutely been wow moments, like real life wow moments, like
Yeah.
that have like been like holy shit kind of thing, which would never have happened without Destiny. Um, so yeah,
So, so you've mentioned two things which were my next two questions. So let's go with PvP first.
yes,
So PvP. Now I'm a 50-50 PvE PvP player.
yeah,
So I'm not exclusive to either or. I enjoy both.
mm.
Hopefully I'm half decent at PvP.
Yeah,
So, some people in the chat might say different. Uh, but I don't swear as much. Well, I don't swear at all now when I play.
yeah,
I used to swear
yeah.
a lot, and I got told off by somebody, and
Oh dear,
she sort of trained me with a cattle prod every
not to
time.
swear.
Yeah, so I don't swear now. So, but I enjoy
Yeah,
it. Uh,
yeah,
and I like trying to use different things in PvP. So
yeah,
I've been using the chaperone, and
yeah,
I'm getting quite good with that. But
yeah,
I have a gripe with PvP. So this is obviously you're a big PvP player, and it's to do with how it's set up
yeah,
and the structure of PvP. Now, obviously, there's been a reworking of trials,
yeah,
and they've been obviously testing things out for the last few weeks.
yeah.
Uh, I, personally, I'm not over keen on the capture point.
No, me neither.
I liked it when the first week that they tried Summit, that seemed a bit better. But it's the quick play and the survival, like the comp,
Mm, yeah,
that kind of I've said this before. So comp a year or two ago, there was a carrot dangled in front of you, and it was Luna's
yeah,
Howl and Not Forgotten.
yeah, yeah,
And then obviously they put Mountain Top. You had to do stuff in
yeah,
that. So there was
yeah,
always an objective to play in
yeah,
there,
yeah,
but now there's nothing.
yeah.
So what do you think about how PvP is like?
Um, so the way I see it is, so if we look at comp first, specifically comp, I think comp is needs a rework similar to what Trials has had, and I think the rework needs to focus. So for me, I don't know if this is like an unpopular opinion or what, but I see Trials as like it's endgame PvP in terms of loot,
Mm,
definitely, but not necessarily in terms of like just like pure like competitiveness. Like I think obviously it's hard and you have to work, you have to earn it to get from um one no wins to 7 wins to get flawless.
mm,
But I don't. It's why I don't agree with it being sort of like skill-based matchmaking, for example, like where it's like sweaty game from like 0 to 7. Like for me, it's like the equivalent of like GMs, where like GMs are tough but very rewarding, and you can farm them.
yeah,
Trials is like the same kind of thing. So I'm happy with what they've done with Trials, but for me, comp needs to be like comp is where that sort of proper ranked experience in Destiny for me should be. Because right now it goes off skill based matchmaking, and I don't think it should. I think it should go off your actual rank comp and
yeah,
match you based on that. Um, and then they should like completely redo the reward structure to match what similar to what Trials has and so forth, including pinnacle i.e., not forgotten level gear for people to chase for.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's anything wrong with having, some stuff that is, very difficult to get, and you will only get if you are pretty good at PvP.
Yeah.
Not forgotten was back in the day, like in that time, like comp was hard. Like comp was really hard to get to 5500.
It was.
And so having that, like the weapon was obviously insane, but it was like a big look at me kind of thing because it was so hard to get. And I just don't think that exists anymore. Because I think Bungie are probably afraid, and I get why, of the backlash of having something that is seen as, I guess, kind of exclusive to the better PvP players.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, like comp should just be an actual ranked game mode, and with the equivalent loot, which means like proper pinnacle loot that's like you have to really really work for if you want to get it.
Mm.
Trials, I'm very happy with what they've done, like reward wise for trials. I agree with the capture zone. I don't think it quite worked out. I think they should do it where, at least try it where the zone is in like a neutral, like central location on the map, like every time,
Yeah.
instead of putting it in the spawn. I don't really understand that decision.
No.
Um, uh, week two, the matchmaking changes. I still think week one was the week I enjoyed the most, but I'm not against having the flawless pull when it's turned on Sunday. They changed it to.
Yeah.
So it's like a best of both worlds kind of thing. Like I don't mind that, to be honest. But yeah, everything else has been great. And then yeah, and then I guess there's quick play left. I don't know. Did you have like a particular gripe with quick play, or is it just
No, quick players, quick play. It's there
yeah,
for people to go in as if they want to go in as a six star, or if they just want to go in. It that it,
yeah,
quick play is what it is. Uh, it's more the comp
yeah,
thing for me,
yeah,
and like I kind of get why they took pinnacles out of the game because they were forever having to mess about with them every so often
yeah,
and nerfing them and nerfing them and nerfing them. I get that and I understand where they're coming from.
yeah,
Uh, but there should be a gun at the top for
yeah,
people to chase, not make it crazy OP because they'll just end up
no,
nerfing it. But
yeah,
it's like you say, GMs have those
yeah,
weapons at the end.
yeah,
But I'd even put in, yeah. So like Mr. Grandad's saying in chat, something to show off. So I'd put just an exclusive armor set in
yeah,
there.
yeah.
So you get to I don't know what the ranks now, Guardian, Fabled, da da da.
It's like yeah,
So
yeah,
get so far, you get the legs.
yeah,
Then for example, cloak,
yeah,
chest piece, helmet,
yeah,
and you get that before you get to 5500. Then if you get to legend and get there, then you can add a glow.
yeah,
It's just something that shows that you've got
yeah.
there.
You've
Do you
done
know
it.
what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
they can give decent stat rolls for the armor as well, obviously. But
yeah,
it's
yeah,
just something that shows off that you've reached
yeah,
that
yeah,
thing, and
yeah. Or even just
people will chase it. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like people, I mean, you could even throw in like a shader, an emblem, like those kind of things, and like people go like crazy for it because
Yeah,
it's something to wear to rep. That's like that's something to be proud of. It's like like I did this thing, then this thing is hard to do, and it's kind of similar to like I guess seals and like getting certain seals and gilding them.
yeah.
But yeah, I think comp could definitely benefit from. I feel like comp at the minute, the only reason people play it is when a new season starts and they play it for the easy, powerful gear.
Powerful gear. Yeah,
And then literally, like, what's the point? Like, unless you want to get unbroken for that season and gild it, like, there's literally no incentive to play comp. Like,
I play it
yeah,
every week. So my best friend comes round on a Thursday.
Yeah.
and it's quite a funny setup. And my other half thinks it's st- stupid. So I have on my kitchen table, I'll have two TVs. We have our two PlayStation 5s, and we're sat playing. Now I'm
Yeah.
streaming at the same time, so I've got all my stuff. But
Yeah.
we play it all the time. We've always played it,
Yeah.
and we get like Jadis comes and joins us, and I I've got he loves doing it because he's gilded his Unbroken, so's Jadis.
Yeah.
Now I
Yeah.
haven't got Unbroken yet, but I'm more. There's just nothing there.
Yeah.
When Not Forgotten was there, I was there. I wanted to play it. I wanted that
Yeah.
gun.
Yeah.
So like you say, it needs a rework, but
It really does. Yeah.
so does Iron Banner.
Yes, Iron Banner needs the. I think Iron Banner just needs the same treatment in terms of the loot, like the reward structure. Because at the minute, it's like you go in, you do the pinnacle bounties, and once that's done,
You don't play it.
yeah, like what else there is to do? There's nothing to do. So, and tokens, obviously you get tokens, but like the drop rates on certain stuff is just abysmal. Like I see tweets people like grinding for like a specific weapon, literally turning in like over 1,000 tokens and not even getting a single drop of that weapon. So it's
Yeah,
like there's no point even farming it for that. So for me, that it needs the same treatment. Yeah, just a full reward structure rework for Iron Banner, which hopefully will come at some point. Because I think if they were to do that to Iron Banner and give comp a good shake up, then you've actually got like a pretty overall quite a healthy like PvP modes.
yeah,
It's just going to be, I think, taking time. We've seen they can do it with trials. They
yeah.
just need to basically replicate that with the other modes as well.
So what's your opinion on? Obviously, it's been 100 million days since the last new map, and
Yeah,
but obviously they announced that there's gonna be some new maps coming eventually,
yeah,
but and obviously they're gonna reissue
yes,
some older maps. What's your opinion with that? Do you Because for me, if they don't have the resources to build new maps, because obviously
yeah,
there's building them and then there's play testing them, and they have to do all the bits with them.
yeah,
But they have the assets for the D1 maps. Now we've got loads of D1 maps come back already,
yeah, yeah,
but even if it's just a halfway thing, they surely could have tweaked some of the old maps and just there you go.
yeah,
Every couple of seasons, there's
yeah, yeah,
a map. Uh,
yeah.
I don't know because I'm getting bored of playing
Yeah, no,
dead
I get
cliffs
what you
and
mean.
stuff. And
It has been way way too long since we've got like an actual brand new map. I think I saw a tweet. I think it's been was it like it might be like exactly 2 years, pretty recently, since we got a brand new like not a D1 map, like a brand new D2 map, which is just like I think it was Shadowkeep, which is ridiculous to think about.
especially when we've had
Um,
Beyond Light and
exactly,
then
yeah, yeah,
Europa's a new
yeah,
area. They usually
yeah,
always used to bring a map themed
yeah,
on the new area,
yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah, there wasn't anything. It
yeah.
was really
It's a tricky one because, obviously they've obviously got certain resources and they have to prioritize stuff and
yeah,
we don't know what's going on behind the scenes and that kind of thing and but it is frustrating from our perspective because it's like we're not even getting a single new map, in that space of time. That's a very, very, very long time to go without a new PvP map.
it's
Um,
incredibly
I mean, I don't think it's them. Or I don't think it was them abandoning PvP or anything like that. I think it was just put on the back burner. I think they just, I think they, I mean, I don't know. I'm just like pure hypothetical.
yeah.
I think they just prioritized other stuff, um, i.e., Beyond Light and obviously Stasis and probably a lot of stuff like behind the scenes stuff of the game, and obviously Witch Queen's coming out, stuff beyond that, the 30th anniversary pack, all the Trials rework stuff. Like, yeah, I think they've just simply had to allocate resources accordingly, probably, and PvP map probably just wasn't,
Yeah,
that high on the priority list compared to other stuff.
yeah,
Which I get, it's frustrating from a PvP perspective because obviously we want new maps. And all D1 maps is cool and nostalgic and all, but a lot of them don't play either as some play better, some play worse in D2 because it is a very different game. That's the reality of it. So you can bring back a fan favorite map, and it's just not quite the same in D2 as it was in D1.
yeah.
Um,
My example for that's Twilight Gap.
yes, I hate that map in D2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it plays so bad because movement is so different in D2 compared to D1. So the Twilight Gap, especially in sixes, is even in threes, but in sixes it is just absolute chaos. Like
Yeah,
the flow is just horrendous, and it's because you can move so much quicker in D2 compared to D1. Um, and I enjoyed it in D1.
yeah,
So yeah, so there's always that risk just because it is a very different game. And hopefully when we get brand new maps, they will be worth the wait. Fingers crossed. It'd just be nice to play something brand new, to be honest.
yeah,
Just
definitely.
because it's been so long. So we'll see. We'll see.
Right, so speaking of so long, you see, it's
Yes.
like we're on the same wavelength.
That is.
So, how many days did you tweet with your campaign to get a certain gun to return? And I'll quite happily say it. I believe it was you that got the gun
You
put
think
back
it
into the
was?
game.
If it was me, then I will. That's my like I made it moment. Like that's it. Like I peaked with that. Like I'm done. Like it was. If you include the day that it got revealed, because I did tweet on that day. It was 162 days in a row of tweeting, which is quite a lot of days.
It is. And
Especially when I remember doing day one and people were like, "Nah, you're not going to stick with that. You do a few days and you'll be done," you know. And I just kept going like, and I manually tweeted it as well. I didn't have it on a schedule. I like physically did it
yeah.
myself every time. I just got into a habit of doing it at the same time every day. It was
So for anyone that is here and not too sure what we're talking about, so Benji is been tweeting for 100, what do you say, 160,
62 days.
162 days to get the return of the Isoluna hand cannon from D1. Now, we've had something that looks similar. Uh, the name has just disappeared out of my head.
Osh, Ostringer.
Ostringer, that was it.
Yeah.
So that looked like it, but it obviously didn't come with the perks because if my memory serves, did it not? Could you not get it rolled with it luck in the chamber and stuff like that in D1?
Yeah, in D1 you could. I don't know if because
Obviously,
obviously that
that's
doesn't.
not in the game.
Yeah, so I don't know if that'll ever come back. Um, but yeah, for me, people sometimes reply to the tweet and are like, "Oh, we've already got that. We had Ostringer, that kind of thing," and I'm like, "We did, and Ostringer was great. Like it was a really good PvP hand cannon, but for me, it just never quite hit the same. I can't really put my finger on it. Just something about it just wasn't highest Lunar, and clearly Bungie felt the same because they've sunset one and bringing back the other. So
Yeah,
here we are.
here we
So
are. And
yeah.
when was it going to return?
So it's returning December 7th, which is when the 30th anniversary comes out.
Right.
It'll be through the dungeon, the new dungeon,
Yeah,
that is in the old D1 loot cave, like the OG loot cave. And yeah, and that'll be the same place that you get 1,000 yard stare, which was revealed as well alongside it.
that was an epic
Uh,
sniper rifle.
yes, it was. So now I'm just hoping that it has a good perk pool. Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Because I was wondering how they were gonna do it because obviously now I missed this from D1. So when you used to go, was it did it used to be was it on the reset day or was it on a Friday reset where you used to go around to all the vendors? So Shax was there, and his
Yeah,
he had a different set of guns each week
yeah,
with certain roles,
yeah,
and you used to go, didn't you? You used to run around, see what
yeah,
rolls were on them,
yeah,
because there was the palindrome. You used to look for a god
yeah,
roll of that,
yeah,
and I miss that.
yeah.
Uh,
I enjoyed that. Yeah, I think um, I think with IS Luna because it's in the dungeon. I assume that the dungeon loot will work the same as what we've got now with like the prophecy, where you can farm the loot.
yeah,
So once you figure out what encounter it drops from, you can just farm and farm and farm it, which would in theory make it obviously a lot easier to get the god roll. Whereas back in D1, it was just a crucible like post game drop.
yeah, it was, yeah,
Uh, which to be fair, it did drop quite often. Like it wasn't super rare. And like I said, I was very lucky to get the roll that I got. But yeah, I'm just hoping that if it has a good perk ball, then it can definitely live up to what it was in D1. Just gotta hope, pray for the best.
Well, you never know. Fingers crossed, they may bring Luck in the Chamber back with it.
Maybe that would be quite something.
Because
That
to
would
be,
be quite so.
again, I'm trying to memory. Was it just one random? Was it one random
Yeah,
bullet in the
yeah,
mag had a lot higher damage?
yeah. So
It
for
was,
luck in
wasn't
the
it?
chamber, it was just one bullet because it could make a 142 tap with that extra damage.
Mm,
And then the Hawk Moon had it where it was like basically you had three Look in the Chamber bullets, which is why Hawk Moon was so like special back in the day. But Look in the Chamber just on its own was always a really good perk because like you can randomly two tap someone, like that's obviously very good. And if they brought it back, which you never know, it would be another great perk to grind for.
of course it would. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, the way it normally goes is these weapons get like revealed in databases and APIs and stuff beforehand.
Yes.
So it will probably get leaked with the perks that it has, and I'm sure I will get um, sent it prior to that, so I'll get a peek at what's to come. So hopefully not disappointment. Otherwise, it's gonna come out, and then I'm gonna start a new tweet, which will be 1 day of not getting IS Luna God Roll, 2 days of not getting IS Luna God Roll, and it continues and it goes on. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Right. So that's the end of that category. So we're going to head into a quick fire round. So it's a simple this or this, and you've just got to pick one.
Okay.
So first one, Crucible or Gambit.
Oh, I'm gonna say Crucible, but from from I know this is quickfire, but from Forsaken up until maybe like Beyond Light ish, Gambit. I was
Yeah.
all in on Gambit. I was like fully all in on Gambit. And then I kind of have recently switched back again to Crucible. But yeah, Gambit holds a very special place in my heart, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zavala or the Drifter.
Oh, Drifter.
The Traveller or the Darkness.
Oh, the darkness.
Ah.
Uh,
Titans, Hunters or Warlocks.
Hunter. That's not even. I don't own a Titan. Let's put it that way.
And that's the correct answer.
Yes.
Action films or comedy films.
I'm gonna say action films. Just
Pizza or burger and fries.
pizza. Pizza.
Ice cream and jelly or chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake. Yeah.
And PS5 or, well, we'll say PlayStation, Xbox
Yeah.
or PC.
I have all three. Is that an illegible answer? I don't even know. Like, uh, Xbox for shooters, PS5 for single player, and PC for streaming. That's
Fair
my
enough.
that's my answer.
Oh, excuse me. Right, so we'll move on to the last category, which is what you do. So, content creating.
Yes.
So, how long have you been doing and, well, streaming and making content and stuff
Um,
like that?
since D1, it was definitely like I briefly mentioned earlier, like Destiny for me kind of took things gaming wise to another level. Like I watched stuff on YouTube, like for Call of Duty prior to Destiny. But like I didn't even really know about Twitch before Destiny. And then Destiny kind of it got me into YouTube even more. I started watching people on Twitch, got into Reddit, got really big into like social media, and then started streaming myself, which was probably like I don't know when I first started streaming, like maybe year two of D1.
Yeah,
Like Taken King time ish. And it was yeah, mainly just like I would do like trials help back in the day. Um, and yeah, but I was always like because I was like at uni at the time, so I was always like pretty inconsistent with it. So it's only fairly recently that I've been able to commit more time to it just because I can balance it with work.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, yeah, I mean, and I started on Twitter in March 2016 that I had my account, which actually started off as a so the Crucible medal. We ran out of medals.
yeah,
So my original handle was I ran out of medals, and then I had like the the emblem for the medal was like my profile picture and stuff. And then I kind of over time merged that with my personal account, um, and then just kind of grew that to where it is today. So yeah, yeah.
And what is it you enjoy about streaming and doing YouTube and stuff like that?
I think it's just a combination of helping people and interacting with people. Um, I've always enjoyed, like, I always want to help people in the game, especially in PvP, like, even when I wasn't streaming. So it's like, well, I might as well stream it and help as many people as possible, kind of thing.
Yeah,
I find it very, very rewarding, like, just helping someone, whether it's get to the lighthouse or something along those lines. Like, just hearing their, like, genuine reaction to it and how, like, appreciative people are for it. Um, And yeah, it's just literally just interacting with people. Like I've met a lot of great people through streaming,
yeah,
in my community and other communities, and just getting to chat to people. And it's just it's like um, another world within a world. Like I go to work and talk to people there, and then I get to stream and talk to a completely different bunch of people there, and it's like it's and I've made like genuine, real friends through it.
yeah,
People who I would consider like close friends and who I've met in real life and who I've known for many years. So yeah, I can't. I'm grateful for it all, and I'm glad that I got into Destiny the way I did, because I don't think I would have got into streaming or looked into streaming without it, to be completely honest. So
yeah.
yeah.
What what bit of advice would you give to anyone that's thinking of starting to stream or create content on YouTube?
Um, Simple answer, but always the hardest part is start. It's very easy to sort of get bogged down in it and question yourself without actually just starting because a lot of it you just figure out along the way. I
Yeah,
don't think there's anything wrong with like winging it. You don't have to go in. You're not going to go in knowing everything, and you will just like beat yourself up over stuff if you um, go in expecting to sort of absolutely smash it to begin with. There's going to be a lot of learning curves, and you got to be ready for that,
yeah,
and just take them all on the chin, really. Um, use them as experiences and lessons, as not as something to say, you're gonna stop or you want to quit or anything like that. Um, and just be consistent, which is hard. Like it's easier said than done. It absolutely is. But yeah, consistency is really like the key with streaming and any content creation really.
Yeah,
Um, you gotta stick at it because it is a grind. It is a. I think I would say probably patience. I guess is more than anything. Like it's not gonna happen overnight, and you gotta be prepared to be in it for the long run. Essentially, um, if you're not seeing certain results that you want to see after a certain period of time, it's probably because it's just not been long enough.
yeah,
And you've gotta play that long game and stick at it. But I guess the key is when you see those numbers is not to get disheartened. Don't beat yourself up over it and think that you're failing or you're not going to make it, because um, you never know. And if you're enjoying it, which is obviously the main thing, really, while you're doing it, and if you just focus on that and then let everything else come afterwards.
yeah.
So yeah, I think that's what I'd say.
That's sound advice, is that? So, anyone in chat thinking about streaming or doing YouTubey stuff, listen to that advice. Couldn't have put it better myself. So, you mentioned a few minutes back community.
Yes.
So, we all have communities. I have
Yeah.
mine. They're all like ripping me to pieces
Yeah.
and making sure I don't swear and all that type
Yeah.
of stuff. But
Yeah.
obviously, you've got your own community.
Yeah.
How would you describe your community?
Um, very, very supportive in that I have been a very inconsistent streamer for quite a few years, just with like life getting in the way. But they'll always be there and come back, even if I have like a big gap or if I'm streaming very inconsistently, they'll always sort of come back and be there for me. Um, and they have definitely been there for me in times like, especially like throughout COVID as well, like when I didn't have a job, like financially.
Yeah,
Um, they came in massively with that. And I think, to be honest, like a lot of the people that are in my community are similar interests and personalities to me. Um, Even just things like whether it be music or just like what they enjoy in Destiny. Um, and so I think um, they enjoy what I do because um, it basically suits their needs. Um, it's what they probably do themselves when if they're not watching me.
yeah,
They all feel like quite relatable people. Like if I met them at IRL, like, it wouldn't be like awkward or anything. It would just be like meeting a friend who I've known for many years. It'd just be like second nature, really.
yeah,
So yeah, they're just genuinely like good people, who have always been there, who have stuck by me, um, even if I've been a bit lackluster at times with it. And yeah, I think they're all and to be honest, I think they're all just like genuinely decent human beings. I wouldn't say like my community is definitely not like a toxic community.
yeah,
I think because of how I am as a person, I don't really interact with or engage with that sort of aspect, I guess, of like the Destiny community.
yeah,
And really like just don't get involved with it at all. And I think that sort of reflects in my community because they're exactly the same. They're not the people who interact with that kind of side, and they're not interested in that kind of stuff. So yeah, just like genuinely just good people. Who yeah, very supportive, and I'm very lucky, definitely.
So, well, like you say, it's always good when you've got a community watching your back and
Yes, definitely.
and supportive. Like,
Yeah,
uh, I'll use one example because I can see her name. Happy, one of my mods, has my back the whole time. Supportive,
yeah,
helps me through stuff. Like, she's one of my mods, so we chat, but she's
yeah,
always supportive of me, and she's a really good friend and
yeah,
part of the community. And I have lots of people, Reaper, Empress, Skullra. They're all help me
yeah, yeah,
if I'm like I've been suffering with quite a bit of illness the past year and a half, and they've
yeah,
been there supportive for me.
yeah,
So, like you say, I couldn't wish for better
yeah.
people.
Yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to meet most of them in real life because they're in America.
Yes, yes, I have that. I think I have the same problem. I'm lucky in that I have been able to interact with the UK community quite a bit for Destiny. I've been to like events since like 2015 or 2016. So I have been able to like meet people, and that's why I've made like a lot of like close friends, like in person
Yeah,
people through those stuff. And there's quite a few UK people in my community just probably by pure chance more than anything. But yeah, it's one of the reasons why I think, although it wasn't able to happen, that Guardian Con is or GCX now is such a special event because it's a chance for us UK people to meet a lot of the American people that we just otherwise wouldn't
yeah.
ever get the chance to meet. So fingers crossed that goes ahead next year because I want to go to that definitely.
Same,
Fingers
same.
crossed. Fingers
Um,
crossed.
the only issue I have, I've just paid a fortune because I'm off to Florida next year.
Oh, yeah.
All the bells, all the whistles, Disneyland, Universal Studios, once in a
Yeah.
lifetime. I'm not looking forward. I am looking forward to it. I am.
Yeah.
I've,
It's gonna
because
be a great
because
trip.
yeah, and for everyone that's from America in here, it's the aeroplane journey.
Yeah.
I'm like Mr. T from the A Team with flying,
Yeah.
and I hate flying to Spain, and that's 4 hours. Let alone going to Florida, that's 8.5 hours. However long it
Yeah.
is, I'll be like that,
Yeah.
gripping to me seat. But
Yeah.
hopefully I can come up with the money, and next year
Yeah.
I can go.
Yeah.
So, last question for this episode of the podcast. So, do you have any goals or things that you'd like to do in the future with the streaming content creating side?
Um, I think with streaming specifically, it's just sort of real nailed down on the consistency. And then hopefully one day Twitch partner, I guess would be like the real end goal. Which I do think, and this isn't, I'm not trying to like be like all cocky here. Like I think it's achievable if I can maintain the consistency.
Yeah,
Um, I think I'm very fortunate to have built up the following community that I got on Twitter specifically. So like a very active and supportive following. And that does translate to streaming. It's just that it's harder. It's very easy to be, or I find it very easy to be consistent on Twitter because it's easy to put a tweet out every day. It's
yeah,
much harder to squeeze in a stream every day, or not every day, but fairly regularly. So yeah, so I'd say mainly just consistency with streaming, and then hopefully one day partner, and then just I think branching out really to maybe TikTok, posting stuff on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, that kind of thing. Because like I say, I've got Twitter like nailed on the head. Really, it's just applying that to other
yeah,
platforms and using that to then hopefully help grow the stream and go from there. And just yeah, and balance as in balance between like work and just general life and
yeah,
streaming and just keeping that in order because I think that is a when you're working and you want to stream at the same time, it is hard to balance the two. And it can be very tiring and take up a lot of time and energy. Um, so I think just working on that balance and hopefully, yeah, getting to a point where I can work and be consistent with the stream. Hopefully,
yeah. And fingers crossed, in the not
Yes.
too distant future, you will have a purple check mark next to your name.
Fingers crossed. We
Yeah,
can dream. We can dream.
it's it's the goal for me. But
Yeah.
like you alluded to earlier, it's got to be the long game.
Yes.
It has
Yes.
to be.
Yeah.
I'm not stupid enough to think that I can just go click live and then I'm going to average 75 viewers to get.
Yeah. Just like that. Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
No.
You have to put graft in. You have to work.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
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 Right. So that is the end of this episode of the podcast. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Hopefully,
Me too.
everyone in chat has enjoyed it, and I'm glad that you've enjoyed it.
Yes.
uh, so, what happens here? This is quite hilarious. So this is where I talk for about a minute solid, and it's just a filler while I start clicking things while I find someone to go raid.
Yes. Yes. Of course. Yes.
But no, seriously, thank you very much for joining me. I
And
was
thank you for having me.
I was thrilled when you said yes,
Yes.
uh, that you would come and join me.
Yes.
Uh, and never stop tweeting. If there's something you want, tweet it every day.
That's the if you take anything from this,
Yes.
if you want something in life, tweet about it every day and you will get it.
Right. So I know where we're going this evening because I've not been as read this person for a while. Because I think she's been quite poorly and she's back streaming now. She is a member of my stream. Well, I say my stream team. I run the stream team for Red Queen. It's hers. I don't want to get in trouble in case somebody goes back to her and says, "Get Crash has been saying it's his stream team." No, what I mean is I run it for her. It's hers. But anyway, this is another member of Team Sublime. She's a really, really nice person. I think she's playing some Resident Evil this evening, so that'll be something a little bit nice and different and scary. Uh, I do believe, if you just bear with me, I have put. Da, 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 do it again. So there's a raid command. So it's one of them, copy and paste. And then when we go into the other channel, we just spam her chat with that. If you'd like to drop her a follow, show some love like you always do for me. And then I'll just click the wrong thing with my big fat fingers. Where are we? There we are. So let's start that up. And then do that now. There we go. Right, so again, thank you, Benji, for joining me. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me. It's
Thank
been
you,
a great time.
thank you to everyone in chat who's been here, chatted away, and enjoyed the podcast. Hopefully, uh, I'm just trying to think. I will be back Friday for trials. There'll be no stream tomorrow. My usual Thursday night comp stream is not happening because I have to go to a meeting for football, and I can't get out of
Hmm.
it. So I'll be back on Friday for trials. So everyone, stay safe, take care, and I will see you later.